Okay, guys, so click out if you don't want to hear my personal story, but along the lines of the post that I just made about what is available to you regarding perception. And I'm going to tell you a little story that I lived into in my 20s. I was 27 years old and I was visiting Miami for the first time. But we weren't in Miami. We were outside of Miami by like 45 minutes. And I don't even know the name of the city. I think it was Daytona or something. I don't know. We were out in that part of the world, and I had always wanted to go to Miami, and I was traveling with my family, and my sister-in-law and I really wanted to go into Miami, which took, a taxi drive for 35 minutes. But either way, I said to my sister-in-law, "Do you want to go? Do you want to go out?" And she's like, "Yeah, let's go." Because the whole family was like in for the night, and I was like, "I want to go dancing." Anyway, so I convinced my brother to let his wife go with me to Miami, and we took a taxi to Miami. And it was my first time there. It was her first time there. We're both in our 20s. She's a little bit younger than me, but I'm like 27. And we asked the cab guy, like, is there anything going on that, we should definitely go to? And he said, yeah, and he said, it's the grand opening of this famous NFL players club tonight. And I was like, yeah, I totally want to go to that. And I asked my sister-in-law, she's like, let's go. So we show up there and he drops us off. And then as he's dropping us off, I realize it's the opening night of a nightclub of a famous person. So her and I are looking at each other, and the entrance of the club is right in the middle. And there is a line around the building for the people that are regular entry, and there's a line around the building of the people that are VIP. And I look at her and I'm like, oh my God. Wow, okay, how are we gonna get in? So I I'm with my sister-in-law. The entry is right in the middle of the building, and her and I are standing next to each other, and I said to her, I go, listen, look at me straight in my eye, okay? Pay attention to my words, and you're going to repeat it 3 times. And I grabbed her shoulders and I said, okay, we are going to get in. We're going to have VIP tickets, and we're going to have free drinks all night. And this is going to happen within the next 10 minutes. And I had her repeat it with me 3 times. And I said, okay, now let it go. Don't think about it. And then her and I, and she had doe eyes, i.e., I don't know if she believed me or didn't believe me, but it didn't matter. I had her repeat it 3 times. And then her and I, stood in front of the bouncer, right? He's right in the middle. He's not letting anybody in because it's filled to the brim. And there's lines up the wazoo, but we're standing right there in the middle in front of the guy who is guarding the gate per se, and her and I are just pretending to have a conversation. And we're just standing there, and we're standing there, and like about 7 minutes go by, and then this guy walks out the front door, and he's yelling on his phone. He's like, I don't care what you need to do, but you need to take care of this right now, or... And then his phone died. And he's like, what the fuck? He lost his shit. He's like, oh my fucking God. And he was so angry, and he was standing right next to the bouncer guy. And then he sees me and my sister-in-law. He looks at me, he goes, do you have a phone I can borrow? And I did. And I said, yeah. He goes, can I borrow your phone real quick? So he took my cell phone and he calls whoever he was talking to, and he resolves whatever the hell was going on. And then before he ends the conversation, he goes, come to the front and give me 2 VIP wristbands and get in here and make sure you come here right now, right? So like, I don't know, 2-3 minutes go by, and this guy comes out, and he gives the guy the wristbands, and the guy looks at me, he goes, you saved me. And because of that, I'm going to give you girls VIP wristbands, and you're going to come in and you're going to be able to hang out with this famous NFL player in his section and drink free all night. I hope you have fun. Thanks again. So all this to say is that I didn't know that I could simply create the option of the paradigm of possibility. I just knew that I needed to simply place a thought in her head that I had placed in my head, and then see how the universe would bestow possibility. And I have that story to tell. Possibility is simply a thought that you give energy to, and if you do it with multiple people, you may give it life. All right, I'm Nettie. I guide a little tidbit in manifesting. Words become spells, and times two, i.e., if you continually repeat the things that you want to live into to multiple people, have them consciously believe it as well, the manifesting will happen quicker. I'm Nettie. I guide. I hope this helped you in some way.